Hello and good afternoon from Ed Glancy Field. Today you are watching the Battle of the Redbirds. We have the visiting University or North Central University Cardinals facing off against the home team, your Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. I am your host for the afternoon, David Cooper. I'm the alumni of the Scarlet Hawk baseball program, played with a lot of these guys that you're seeing take the field before you, and happy to bring you this game on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Got a little non-conference one game here. First pitch supposed to start at 1 p.m. as Nico Garrio will get us started for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. He'll be the starter on the mound. He's gotten a handful of starts in some non-conference play. His last one was against U Chicago on Tuesday, and I'll pull up the stats for you on that here in just a minute. But before that, we'll go around the infield and see who we have taken the defensive alignment for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. We have freshman Alex Bolliker over at third base. Sophomore shortstop phenom Jack Fryer. At second baseman, we have the sophomore Mario Recio. And at first base, Michael Paxson. Outfield, left to right, looks like Luke Yachten over in left field. Tyler Gutzfeld out in center. And today, freshman Chris DeGroot will be up and right. Lucas Wan will be doing the catching behind the plate as we are just a moment away from first pitch here, where Nico will face the freshman or the leadoff hitter for the Cardinals, number 2, and playing right field today, Berg. Everybody will get settled in here, and we will be underway. And the first pitch is swung on and missed by Berg, so a good start there for Nico. As I mentioned, Nico's last start was against U Chicago on Thursday. 3 innings pitched, allowing 3 earned runs and 4 hits in that time. A couple strikeouts as well. This is popped up, and it's going to be back, and Lucas Wan is going to bring it in foul territory, and that's going to be a quick out for Nico as the Scarlet Hawks will throw it around. So 1 up, 1 down thus far. And that will bring up the third baseman, number 16, Bland, for the Cardinals. Bland hitting .337 on the year with a bomb to his name. I'm sure he's licking his lips at the short porch that we have here at Ed Glancy. You can see it on the stream. A very short right field fence, a high wall out there you got to clear, but lefties, if they can get into it, it's going to go out on Michigan Ave there. That ball is fouled away. It'll be 1-1. And the 1-1 from Nico. The fastball on the outside corner, that's going to be strike 2. So if you don't remember what happened the last time these two teams matched up, that might be a good thing depending on who you're rooting for today. North Central beat the visiting Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks 28-1. And that ball's hit out to left and caught by Luke Yachten. The wind gave him a little bit of trouble, but able to bring it in for an easy second out. So that will retire Bland and bring up John Sumachi, who's playing second base, the 3-hole for the Cardinals today. He's batting .263 on the year with 4 home runs to his name. The first pitch to Sumachi is a little bit high, maybe a little bit inside. It's a fastball from Nico. And that's a fastball swung on and missed. So after Sumachi, the rest of the North Central lineup looks like number 6, Weinke in the 4-hole. Number 20, Saul in the 5-hole. Number 34, Coberly, who will be doing the center field job out there in the 7-hole, or in the 6-hole, excuse me. And number 8, Wyatt, will be playing left field in the 7-hole. Number 40, Medina, will be doing the catching today in the 8-hole, and number 23, Lang, will be the shortstop rounding out the North Central order. And here's the 1-2 pitch, and that ball is hit sharply out to right center field, and it's going to split the gap and land just in front of the wall, and Sumachi's going to round first and easily head into second base, as that's going to be the first hit of the day in the ball game. So a little bit of two-out noise from the North Central Cardinals, and that'll put a runner in scoring position here early. As I was mentioning, this is a rematch from earlier in the season. These teams played each other one time in a very cold Sunday night game over at North Central a handful of weeks ago, and North Central did best Illinois Tech 21-8 in that game. It's another game that Nico started. He had a pretty strong performance in that one, if I do recall. We'll pull up his pitching stats here. He went 3.1 innings with 4 hits, 3 runs, but only 2 of them earned, and 4 Ks in that one. So looking to have a little bit of that same success to get the Scarlet Hawks started off in this one. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's a curveball that's hit through the 3-4 hole, and Sumachi's going to be sent home, and the throw is going to be cut off by Michael Paxson and not in time to turn it around towards the plate, and that will be the first run of the ball game. An RBI driven in by Wanke, and that will score Sumachi. So I have a runner on first base now as North Central jumps out to that early lead. And that will bring up the designated hitter in the 5-hole, Saul. Saul so far in the year, very high average, 436 with a couple of bombs. That's a fastball upstairs to Saul. And there's a fastball in there for a strike. So talked about the rematch, how this is a rematch that the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks badly want to make up for that 21-8 loss a couple of weeks ago. And both of these teams are coming in with slightly below 500 records so far. Illinois Tech 9-12 coming into this one, and that ball's going to be hit softly over to Bolliker, who will throw it over to Michael Paxson, and that will retire the side, but not before the 10-13 North Central Cardinals are able to scratch across their first run. We'll be back. Scarlet Hawks will get their first chance with the sticks. So welcome back to this one-game matchup between Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks and North Central College Cardinals. We're here in the bottom of the first. North Central able to scratch across a run on a double and a single, but 3-4 holes for the Cardinals, and that will give Illinois Tech a small deficit going into their first ABs here in the bottom of the first. Leading off for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks is Tyler Gutzfeld. Guts has obviously had a tremendous start to the year thus far. He's batting .403, and in the doubleheader yesterday against Lakeland, he went 6-for-10 in that one with a double and a home run late in Game 2. They split that doubleheader against Lakeland. And there's a slider that's outside from this North Central starter, who is Pritchard. Let me see if there's a first name there. There's got to be. Tyler Pritchard. Tyler Pritchard is a junior this year. This is his first start of the year. He has 2 appearances where he's thrown 2.2 innings and given up 3 runs during that span. So an opportunity for Tyler, it seems, here to get a start in this non-conference play, and he's 2-2 right now on one of the best hitters in the NAC, Tyler Gutzfeld. The rest of the Illinois Tech order looks like Michael Paxson in the 2-hole will be playing first base today. Jack Fryer at shortstop. Philip Bentz, as that ball is smashed deep out to right field, and that one's going to be on Michigan Ave. And we're going to get this game started off with a bang. We got a 1-1 ball game, folks, courtesy of Tyler Gutzfeld. That ball was absolutely blasted, and he knew it. Not what you want to see for the first start of the year from Pritchard, but just a good piece of hitting by Tyler Gutzfeld, and it's a 1-1 game. So to continue the batting order, we have Gutspax Fryer for the top 3, and then Philip Benz will be doing the DHing today in the 4-hole. Krista Groot, the freshman, will be playing right field. Then it will be Lucas Wan doing the catching today, followed by Alex Bolliker, who will be getting an opportunity at third base this afternoon. Luke Yachten moving up from the 9-hole to the 8-hole. He'll be playing left field, and then Mario Resio will be giving Bovey a day off here, playing some second base in this non-conference one. So the 0-1 count to Paxton here. It's a fastball outside. So far from Pritchard, we've seen a fastball and kind of a sweeper almost. You know, he probably calls it a slider, more of a sweeper. Not super hard, but a lot of movement. The 1-1 here, and there's the fastball up and out. And so, you know, from the lefty, Pritchard is a lefty out there, and he's going to try and work away to Michael Paxton and probably most of the right-handed hitters in the Illinois Tech lineup, and getting a couple of swing and misses here so far. And that's the sweeper, but it can't quite come all the way back to the zone. So it's 2-2 now to Michael Paxton, who's also having a tremendous start to the year, batting .426. He fouls that one away. He was 4 for 9 in the doubleheader yesterday, and he went back-to-back with Tyler Gutzfeld in the bottom of the 8th inning of Game 2. So, you know, that might be on his mind here, thinking, well, Tyler just hit one. Why can't I? 2-2 count. And the swings and misses through a changeup, a good changeup. It's on the ground, and they'll throw it over to first base to easily retire Paxton. So Medina, who's behind the plate for North Central, able to keep that one close. Throw it down to Winky, and that will be the first out recorded for Pritchard. So a nice combination of fastball, sweeper, changeup there to retire the dangerous bat in Michael Paxton. That will bring up the shortstop, Jack Fryer. First pitch to him will be hit to his counterpart out there at shortstop, and that's going to take a bad hop on Lang, and Jack will reach first base, so that will be scored as a hit, so that'll be a single for Jack. And bring up the designated hitter, Philly B. Also Philip Bentz, but I'm going to refer to him as Philly B. That's how he's commonly known around the Illinois Tech baseball atmosphere here. Philly yesterday, 1 for 6 in the doubleheader. A little bit uncharacteristic for him, as he is batting .306 on the year. A freshman that's got out to a really great start, both offensively and defensively. The 1-0 is swung on and not handled by Medina, and that's going to allow Jack to move up on the pass ball. So runner on second base now in scoring position for Philip Benz, and with 1 out, they're going to look to maximize on this opportunity to take an early lead. North Central obviously jumped out to an early lead with a double from Sumachi and then a single from Weinke, plating North Central's first run of the game. And Tyler Gutzfeld made that a tie ball game pretty quickly by hitting that solo shot to get it started for Illinois Tech here. So now we're all tied up. Runner in scoring position now for Philly B. A 2-1 count, and that's a fastball just outside. Well located, just didn't quite catch the corner. And that one's hit sharply out to center field, and it's going to fall right in front of the center fielder, Coberly, and that's going to allow Jack to move up to third base. And Philippens with a hit here early. So far 3 hits against the junior Pritchard. 1K and Michael Paxson. That will leave runners on the corners with 1 out for Lucas Juan, which I was told was batting in the 6 hole, but that must be incorrect, so my apologies. Not sure if that was a last-minute swap or just my inability to read the lineup card. So Lucas Juan, who's doing the catching, will be in the 5 hole. I'm assuming Chris DeGroot, yep, he's on deck, will be in the 6 hole. So that's going to be ball 1 to Lucas. Lucas has a tremendous eye, well known for racking up those walks. Let's see what he's at this year. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Juan. It's going to be try and pick off Philly B over there. Throw is not handled cleanly by the shortstop Lang. That came from the first baseman Weinke, and that will allow Jack Fryer to score easily. And Illinois Tech now has a 2-1 lead with another runner in scoring position. So 2-1 here now. Like I said, Lucas does walk a lot. They're checking out Philly B. He might have twisted an ankle or something. He's giving a couple hard steps. Ed Ziefert's checking on him, make sure he's okay. You don't want your designated hitter today to be out of the lineup already. Trainer will come and visit him. But to finish that point on Lucas Juan, Lucas is getting on base 39.6% of the time for that 396 OBP, and a lot of that is due to his ability to draw walks. He has 7 walks so far in the season, and that's tied for second with a couple of other Scarlet Hawks that like to draw walks, Paxson and Matthew Bovey. Jack Fryer leads in that category. Looks like they might be taking Philly B off here. Playing it safe. This non-conference game. Philly B did catch both games of the doubleheader against Lakeland yesterday. They're going to need him to do some more catching as this season continues, so they're going to pass off his duties at the moment to what appears to be Tanner Jenkins. So Jenkins will replace Philly Benz in that DH spot here in the first.
Pinch running number 12, Tanner Jenkins.
Tanner's well known for his speed on the base pass. He's extremely quick. So this could be a pinch running situation. Ed Ziefert might also let him get some ABs now that he's in that DH spot. We'll have to wait and see next time through the order. Since this is a non-conference game following a doubleheader Scarlet Hawks had yesterday, they also had a doubleheader on Thursday, so I'm sure we're going to see a lot of mixing and matching. We're going to see some different players get some opportunities as well. Oh, and maybe I was not mistaken. Looks like they're going to have DeGroot come and hit now. Looks like it was DeGroot that was listed in front of Juan on the line, at least on the official lineup card. Not sure what they had in the dugout. So that means DeGroot will probably start with a 1-0 count, I think. I'm not 100% certain what the rule is. I don't think I've ever seen a team bat out of order. So they're going to hand DeGroot a watch because he doesn't have one. Okay, so it looks like I was not crazy. We do have a switcheroo here where DeGroot was supposed to be hitting before Juan, but Juan came to the plate before DeGroot. North Central coach caught it while they were checking on Philly Benz, and there goes Tanner Jenkins off to the races, and that ball's thrown over to third, but not in time. A very strong throw from Medina, but just not able to outrace Tanner Jenkins to third base, so comes in, immediately makes an impact with a stolen base. And DeGroot now has a 1-1 count, as that was called a strike. So a runner on third base for the freshman, who inherits the 1-0 count from Lucas, and then is told to not swing because Tanner's going to be running. Swings and misses for a sweeper there, and it's 1-2. So it looks to be 3-1 now. They changed on the scoreboard. 3-1 is fouled away, so it should be full now. Shouldn't have any confusion as to what the score was. They might have. Looks like we back here thought that it was a strike when Tanner stole third base, but umpire corrected us, said it was a ball. So nevertheless, we're in a 3-2 count here for DeGroot. Lefty on lefty matchup, payoff pitch, and that's fouled away. We'll do it again. So full count again, and that's going to be a fastball upstairs, and it is not ball 4, so we're just all confused on the count here. My apologies, I'm just going off what the scoreboard says. It happens sometimes. So it looks like we have a full count now. Don't quote me on that. Haven't been right so far this AB. That ball's popped out of play, so a good fight here from Chris DeGroot. He's extended this AB to 6 or 7 pitches. Tanner Jenkins with a lot of speed on third base. You imagine almost anything in the outfield is going to be scoreable for him by tagging up. The payoff pitch, and that one's a sweeper outside, nicely blocked by Medina, and that will put Chris DeGroot aboard first base with the first walk of the game.
Sixth at bat, number 18, catcher Lucas Wong.
So now it looks like Juan will get his proper AB. Steps in with a new count. You know, you already got to see one from Pritchard before his first official AB. So he's got runners on the corners with one out here. That one's going to be fouled away, a sweeper down. Aggressive Lucas Juan going after it. That's a pickoff move, and Chris getting back in plenty of time. So as it stands, I believe when Fryer scored, that is not counted as an earned run at the moment since he advanced on that throwing error from Weinke over at third base. Another pickoff, and that's going to get him. Chris DeGroot caught leaning, and a good pickoff move by Pritchard there, helping himself out and recording the second out of the inning. That'll make it 2 outs now and remove the runner off of first base for Lucas, who still has an RBI opportunity, but That eliminates the sac fly out of the equation as a way to bring him in. And that's a sweeper that's upstairs. That's a tough pitch. Hard to lay off of for Lucas. Hard not to call for the home plate umpire. It's moving so much. It's dropping probably almost 24 inches. It's a fastball fouled away, straight back. We'll get our team back here to flinch a little bit. It'll be 1 and 2 to 1 now. It's a fastball outside. Lucas, so far this year, we talked about the walks, 7 walks. He's getting on base almost 40% of the time, and a lot of that's due to a pretty high batting average this year. He's batting .293 in different opportunities, and he's going to sky that one out to left field, and it slices, but right fielder Wyatt able to bring it in nicely, and that will retire the threat of Tanner Jenkins over at third base. So 2 to 1 as we round out the first inning, and we'll be back for 8 more innings of action. Welcome back to a beautiful Sunday afternoon of D3 baseball here at Ed Glancy Field. If you're just joining us, you missed a good amount of action here in the first inning. Nico Carrillo is out there for the Scarlet Hawks right now on the mound. In the first inning, North Central able to put a run up on the board against him with a double by Sumachi and a single by Winky to bring him in. And then very bottom of the first inning, Tyler Gutsfield goes kablamo on to Michigan, and eventually Fryer, who got on, is able to come around, and that ball's bunted over to third base. Bolliker will make a jumping throw over to first base, and that's going to be called out by the first base umpire. Man, that was close. So a very speedy run by the center fielder Cobberly, who laid down a nice drag bunt, but well retired by Alex Bolliker, who's the freshman over at third base. He hasn't seen that third base position for a couple of weeks, but getting an opportunity here today and making a very nice play to give Nico out number 1 here in the top of the second. And that'll bring up the left fielder Wyatt, who just caught that fly ball to retire Lucas to end the first. So he'll get his first AB of the day. He's coming in hitting .250 with a home run to his name. The fastball's just a little bit outside. It's 2-0, so a hitter's count here for Wyatt. Fastball in there for strike 1. There's the 2-1 pitch, and that's a fastball just down, so not missing by too much here, just a little bit, a couple outside, couple balls lengths down. Carrillo finds himself in a hitter's count here, 3-1. It's a fastball in there. Both strikes have been on the inside part of the plate, so Nico can get a little fancy with some two-seamers, with some cutters. It's hard to tell from my angle exactly which is which, so I'm going to call them all as fastballs. It's full count pitch. That was a little bit too far inside, and that will put Wyatt aboard with the first walk given out by Carrillo today.
catcher, number 40, Andre Medina.
So that will bring to the plate the catcher, number 40, Medina. And on first base, we have the left fielder, Wyatt. The fastball upstairs. It'll be ball one. Wyatt can run. He does pose a pretty significant offensive threat on the base path. He's 6 for 6 so far this year in stolen base attempts, so has yet to be thrown out. We'll see if they choose to challenge the battery of Nico and Lucas Juan behind the plate. 1-1 count here to Medina, who hits a soft line drive over to Michael Paxton at first base, and easily he's going to step on first base and get the 3U double play. So that will retire the sides, and North Central goes quietly. Scarlet Hawks back up, bottom of the second when we come back. So welcome back to Scarlet Hawk Baseball. I'm David Cooper bringing you this production. But the Scarlet Hawks currently out in front 2-1 in the bottom of the second. Nico just retired the sides on an unassisted double play by Michael Paxton. So that will give the Scarlet Hawks a chance here. And Alex Bolliker will be the first hitter for the Scarlet Hawks. Freshman number 1 getting the start at third base today. Bolliker so far this year has appeared in 7 games and started 3 of them. Had 9 ABs during that time. Still chasing his first collegiate hit, and he's going to get it there. Seeing eye single through the 5-6 hole as he hits that one sharply just by the glove of third baseman Bland. So congrats to him on his first collegiate single. They're going to throw that ball aside and keep that one. That's a memory you always want to have. And Alex Bolliker is aboard on first base. That will bring up the sophomore Luke Yaknin playing left field today, and he's had a tremendous start to the year. He's batting .314 as a sophomore, which is massive improvement from freshman year where he had limited opportunities. Had a tough day yesterday, though, against Lakeland, going 0 for 7 in that one, but able to make some stuff happen when he was on board with his speed. So keep an eye on that. That ball's hit sharply down the third base. A diving Bland will throw it over to first base, and in time, according to the field umpire, and Illinois Tech dugout thought that Luke's speed was going to get him there, but Bland had different plans. So a fantastic diving stop. It was a one-hop backhand dive, and Bland comes up with it, sets his feet, and throws a rocket over there to retire Yaknin. That will move Bolliker up to second base and be the first out in the bottom of the second here for North Central Cardinals. Rounding out the Illinois Tech order now is the second baseman, Mario Oresio. Mario so far this year has had a couple of opportunities, especially with Bovey, having a handful of injuries, minor injuries here of late, and there's one in for a strike, 1-1. Mario batting 167 on the year. He has 5 appearances. This is his first start. He's 1 for 6 so far this year. He's drawn a walk as well, so looking to get things started for him his sophomore year. Last time he played was in the doubleheader against Marion. I believe he got that start, but it doesn't say he has any starts in the box score. He got his first hit of the year on Thursday against Marion, going 1 for 3 in that game, which was his last appearance. Good stop by Medina there, that sweeper in the dirt to keep Alex Bollicker put. It's 2-2 now to Mario. 1 out and a runner on second base. And that's a fastball hit hard out to right field and high, but not going to be deep enough, and that will be brought in by Berg. And Alex Bollicker decides not to test it. He's going to stay put at second base. That'll be out number 2 of the inning. And up to bat now with a runner in scoring position is Tyler Gutsfeld. Can't do much better than what he did his last AB. Took a ball on the Michigan Ave about 40 feet out of the yard. That's a fastball up and in. Tyler's hungry for more. He's never done. 6 for 10 yesterday, as I might have mentioned, with the home run. Having a phenomenal year thus far. A 1-0 pitch to Gutsfeld. He's going to hit that one high out to center field. It's going to be quite shallow, and in comes Coberly, who's going to make the catch easily and retire the side. So Illinois Tech goes quietly following suit of North Carolina. It's 2-1. We'll be back with the top of the third. Welcome back to a beautiful Sunday afternoon of Scarlet Hawk baseball. Scarlet Hawks currently out in front 2-1. We're here in the top of the third to get the North Central Cardinals started here in the top of the third. Will be the shortstop Lang getting his first AB of the day against the starter Nico Carrillo. And he's going to hit that one sharply through the 5-6 hole, and nobody's able to get there in time, so Lang will get something started for North Central with that base hit.
Next up at bat, right fielder.
Bring up the top of the order, the right fielder, number 2, Peyton Berg. Berg in his first AB against Nico hit a sky-high pop fly just right in front of me, and Lucas was able to bring that one in foul territory, so looking to hit something in fair play, perhaps, this time. The curveball in there for strike one. Nice pitch from Nico. Lang is also a base running threat. 5 for 6 in stolen base attempts so far this year, so keep an eye on that. Haven't seen any stolen base attempts on the North Central side thus far. We saw one on the Illinois Tech side where Philip Bentz took second, induced a throwing error, and that allowed Jack Fryer to score, making that was a second run for the Scarlet Hawks in the first inning. That ball's hit sharply out to left field. Back is Luke Yaknin, and he settles under it just in time and able to bring it in. So that one was top spun into the wind and came down in a hurry, but Luke's speed able to get him in position to retire Berg. And will be one out for Nico. And we'll see if they get Lang in motion here. And I'll bring up the third baseman, Bland, who had a couple of nice plays last inning. Pick off attempt there from Nico, not in time. The lefty last AB hit a ball out to left field, retired by Luke Yaknin. So 0 for 1 so far on the day. He's batting .337 coming into today. So obviously a guy that North Central is relying on to get things done. Here's his first pitch. That's a fastball hit sharply through the 3-4 hole, and that's going to allow Lang to round second base. It's booted out there by Chris DeGroot, but that's not going to be it's not going to do any damage as Lang was already fully committed to taking third base when he saw the ground ball behind him. So a piece of good base running. Just talked about how fast Lang is. That'll put runners on the corners with that single for North Central here. And a couple of hits. Thus far, I've got some runners on. That ties up the hits category on the scorecard, at least so far. It's fourth hit for North Central. Illinois Tech also has 4. And that one's called a ball, a little bit high, a little bit out perhaps. So Nico's now facing the third baseman, Sumachi, who hit a double deep into right center his last AB, eventually coming around to score on an RBI single by Weinke, and that accounts for North Central's only run up to this point. There's another one that's low and in. Kind of looked like a sinker, two-seamer, just got away from Nico there. So we got some extended base signs coming in from third base coach here at North Central. See if they get Bland in motion. Gets an extra step on his lead, and he's not going anywhere. That ball's in the dirt, blocked nicely by Lucas Wan. A good job. Bland so far this year, only 1 for 3 on stolen base attempts, so not nearly as aggressive as some of the other Cardinals, at least according to the scoreboard. Still yet to see that first stolen base attempt from them. Likely won't be going anywhere now that it's 3-0. And that's a ball down, so they're going to put Sumachi aboard to load the bases. That'll be the second walk given up by Nico. First one this inning.
First baseman number 6, Austin Winkie.
And that'll bring up the first baseman, Austin Wank. And before he can get settled in the batter's box, Edward Ziefert's going to come out, and that'll be the end of the day for Nico. So we'll have that line for you when he's pulled out of here. It looks like we have an Illinois Tech arm coming in. Can't quite see it yet. It's going to be, drum roll, Philip Trojanowski will be the Scarlet Hawk coming in to relieve Nico here in the third. So we'll be back with Nico's stat line in just a moment. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, Scarlet Hawks in a little bit of a pickle here, and they turn to Phil Trojanowski to take over on the mound for Nico. So Nico will end his day with 2 1/3 of an innings pitched. Didn't record any Ks, but didn't allow too many runs as it stands. 2 walks, 4 hits, and 1 earned run. So he is responsible for all 3 runners out there. That ball gets away from Lucas, but kept in front well enough to prevent the run from scoring. So Philip Trojanowski will come in, relieving Nico Carrillo of his pitching duties on the day. And Philip was a phenomenal bullpen arm last year for the Scarlet Hawks in his freshman year. He's had a tougher time settling in so far his sophomore year. And he's 1-0 right now. And that ball is hit high and deep out to center field. Should be plenty deep to score the run. And it will be, so that's going to go in as a sac fly. It's going to go in as a sac fly for Wink.
Next up at bat, designated hitter number 20, Henry Soul.
And that will tie up the game. We got a 2-2 game here in the top of the third. So take that runner off third base and add that run for North Central. And now Nico has allowed 2 earned runs. He's still responsible for the runners out at first and second, but there's 2 outs in the inning. 1 more for Phil to get out of it. Gets a fastball over there. As I was mentioning, it's a better start for Phil than his last outing against North Central. He came in and wasn't able to record an out, giving up 1 hit and 3 earned runs off of 1 hit and two walks in that outing. So good to see him come in and getting out quickly there. Does lead to an RBI, but I'd like to see that out of Phil Trojanowski on the mound. He's 0-2 now. Runners are in motion. That ball's hit out to left field, and in a running Luke Yaknin is diving and not able to make it. Jack Fryer is going to pick it up and throw it to the plate, and it's going to be wide and allow the 4th run to be plated for North Central. So what looked to be a routine fly ball was then just knocked down by the wind, and that's going to be a 2-run single for the designated hitter Saul, and that will score both Sumachi and Bland, who reached earlier in the inning. So North Central coming in and clearing the bases once they see the reliever. It's a 4-2 ball game now with 2 outs. Runner on first base. And bring up the center fielder Cobberly. Cobberly in his first AB grounded out to Alex Bolliker over at third base. He's going to hit that one sharply into the right center gap. It's going to fall in front of Tyler Gutzfeld, and he's not able to come up with it cleanly, but no harm done.
Next up at bat,
moving station to station there is Cobberly, excuse me. Getting on board with a single, and then Saul moving over to first or second base. Looks like we're going to have a
number 26.
Offensive substitution, so in will come number 26. Get you a name on that here in just a second. Okay, as their third base coach has informed us it's number 26 coming into the game, but don't see a number 26 on their stat sheet. Let me double check their roster real quick. Number 26 is Jaden Kotecki. He is a pitcher. That's why he's not on the hitting stat sheet, but he's going to be doing the pinch running here nonetheless. So got a pitcher in to take the place of Bland, who is out there at, or not Bland, excuse me, Saul, who is a designated hitter out there at third base. Phil Trojanowski will now face the left fielder Wyatt. That's a fastball in there. Be strike one, a 1-1 count. The 2-1. Fastball in there on the outside corner. Well located pitch for Phil. That's first and second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs for Phil here. That's a curveball hit sharply up the middle by Wyatt and just past the glove of the shortstop. And in's going to be coming the pinch runner, Kiteki, and the pitcher's excited. He will plate the 5th run for North Central and the 4th run this inning. So a nice RBI single there by Wyatt, just doing exactly what you're taught to take that fastball right back up the middle. Be another single for North Central in this inning, and that'll move Cobberly over to second base. And like I said, that will score the pinch runner Koteki. 5-2 ball game now. That's the 5th hit so far this inning for the North Central Cardinals. And that ball is hit softly out to the shortstop, Jack Fryer, who isn't able to come up with it, squeezes between his legs out into left field, and that's going to allow Cobberly to score on the E6. So an inning with a ton of hits. Haven't seen a bunch of defensive mishaps so far in this big inning for the Cardinals, and that's the first one.
Shortstop number 23, Justin Lang.
So that will bring up the shortstop, Justin Lang, batting in the 9-hole. Earlier in this inning, he started it off with a single, later coming around to score on the sac fly. He hits a hard ball out to right, and that's caught on a running, reaching Krista Groot out there. Nice play by the freshman to stop the bleeding. So North Central will plate 5 more, and it's a 6-2 ball game here as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. So welcome back to the bottom of the 3rd of the visiting North Central Cardinals against your home team, the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. Top of the 3rd got a little out of hand for the Scarlet Hawks, and North Central piecing together 5 runs on 5 hits and a walk, as well as an error out there in the infield. So Illinois Tech now has their work cut out for them as they're trailing 4 here in the bottom of the 3rd. To try and get them back on track will be Michael Paxson. In the 2-hole today, struck out his first AB against the junior starter Pritchard. Pritchard had a little bit of trouble in the first inning and able to pull it together, and Paxson's going to laser that one through the 5-6 hole, and it actually squeaks by the left fielder Wyatt, allowing Paxson to advance. He's going to move all the way up to 3rd. The throw's going to come in and not be in time. There won't be a play, so that's going to go in the books as a single, and then an E7 to move Paxson over to 3rd. Getting Illinois Tech started off with a bang here, trying to chip away at a 4-run deficit. And Jack Fryer now up for the Scarlet Hawks. His first AB against Pritchard, he had a nice single, eventually coming around to score on a throwing error by the first baseman. So that accounts for the second run in that first inning for the Scarlet Hawks. It was an unearned run coming in on that error. There'll be a sweeper in there. Get me over for strike one from Pritchard. Fryer leading the team in RBIs this year. He's got 20 of them. Another opportunity here with Michael Paxson on third base. He's going to hit that one in play. Paxson's off, and that's going to score the run. Fryer's retired over at first base, but did his job, so they're going to chip away at 6-3 now with an RBI by Jack.
Next up, designated hitter number 12, Tanner Jenkins.
So scoring the run will trigger the Olays out of the Illinois Tech dugout there. Got a lot of energy today, looking to fight back and take game 2 of a multi-day series, I guess you could call it, against North Central. I mentioned how they played North Central 2-3 weeks ago on a Sunday, and they're having game 2, rematch game here today. Tanner Jenkins will, in fact, take over Philly B's role in the designated hitter spot. So if you weren't with us in the first inning, Philly Bentz stole second base, got picked off at first. First baseman threw it over to second base, and Philly Benz ended up rolling his ankle as Tanner rolls this one over to the third baseman. Bland makes a nice hard throw to retire the very speedy Tanner Jenkins. That'll be out number 2 in the inning.
Number 9, Christopher DeGroot.
And with Tanner's retirement, that will bring up Chris DeGroot. They're batting in the right order this time. They didn't quite get that one right the first go-around in the second, but we've got DeGroot in front of Juan, so shouldn't have any penalties or weird swapperoos this time. That was in the first inning, excuse me, that they batted out of order, but nevertheless, DeGroot here now facing Pritchard, 1-0 count. It's a fastball, good cut by the freshman, but just got the top of it. It's going to be a foul tip, 1-1. DeGroot in his first AB took a walk, had a really nice AB, fouled off multiple 2-strike pitches, saw 7, 8, 9 pitches, and able to get on. Here he is ahead in the count again, 2-1. That's another fastball down. So Chris will look to draw his third walk. Might go after a fastball if he sees one here. 3-1 count. Got 2 outs. Looking to get a little bit more noise going. Don't want to get not satisfied with one here in the bottom of the third. Definitely helps chip away, but you want to see some more as Chris will softly tap that one in play. It's barehanded by Pritchard and throws it over to Wank over at first base, and that's going to be the end of the third inning. So Illinois Tech scratches across one, still trailing 3 as we head to the fourth. Welcome back to a beautiful day of Scarlet Hawk baseball. I'm David Cooper, bringing you the last 6 innings of this single game set against the North Central Cardinals. On the mound now for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks is the lefty senior Ethan Jensen. Jenny so far this year thrown 3 2/3 of an inning and given up 9 runs in that time, but that doesn't tell the full story, as only 5 of them are earned. 5 earned runs coming in off 9 hits, 2 walks, and put up a trio of strikeouts in that time as well. So Jensen, in his last couple appearances in conference play, has been mostly used as a platoon to get lefties out, so trying to get him a little bit more innings here. And first pitch is over to Fryer, and it's booted. High throw, not able to get him in time, so it's going to go down as another error for the normally sure-handed sophomore shortstop. Has seen a couple of booted balls from him that aren't super characteristic, and that will be the leadoff hitter Berg that able to get on that E6 and bring up to the plate the third baseman Bland. He was able to single his way on last time and come around and score in that big third inning for North Central, where they put up a 5 spot on the Scarlet Hawks to take the lead. Scarlet Hawks chipped away with 1 more run, the bottom of the third, but the deficit still remains at 6-3, and Jensen's been tasked with trying to keep it that way. The fastball, big swing by Bland, and swung on and missed. 1-1 count now. As I mentioned, Jensen's last 2 appearances. He appeared in Game 2 against Lakeland yesterday, coming in for third of an inning to get a lefty out, did his job, and came in for 2/3 of an inning against Rockford. Did give up a run, but ultimately struck out the lefty he was tasked with striking out with, and both of those ended up in 1-run victory. Well, I guess the game yesterday didn't end up in a 1-run victory, but both of them close games. You know, he's been a high-leverage guy late in the game to get key lefties out. He's got a lefty-lefty matchup here in Bland, and the runner is off, and Lucas's throw is going to be high and to the shortstop side, so Berg will reach easily. Talked about earlier how we haven't seen a lot of aggression on the base path from North Central thus far, but up a trio of runs, you know, why not send the leadoff guy? So Berg will reach safely on the stolen base. That will be Berg's 4th stolen base of the season. Another fastball in the dirt, blocked nicely by Lucas. He's had his work cut out for him so far. Had flurry of balls in the dirts between the 3 pitchers that we've seen so far, but he's kept them all in front, not allowed any damage as far as pass balls or wild pitches go, so hats off to him. 3-1 count now to Bland, and that fastball's another big hack, fouled away. So full count now with a runner on second base for the Cardinals. And the payoff pitch is a curveball, swung on a miss. Nice curveball there by Jensen. It's a good tool in his arsenal as far as lefty-lefty matchups goes. Big sweeping curveball away from the left-handed hitter. We'll do it again, full count. A little bit of a move. We're going to throw over to Jack. Keep that disengagement in case he wants it. (6-3) ball game here. North Central with a runner on second base, and the payoff pitch to Bland is down, and that's going to be the first issued walk by Jensen. I'll put runners on first and second here for the Cardinals. Still no outs in the inning. And up comes the dangerous bat of John Michael Scumaci, who's playing second base today. In the first inning, he hit a double in the right center and scored that first run for North Central as he was brought around in the first. Was walked on 4 straight pitches in his last last at bat that Nico saw, and eventually came around to score on that as well. Runners are off again. Lucas chooses to throw to second, and it's not in time to get the trailing runner on the double steal, so Berg will advance to third base on that stolen base. That'll be his 5th, and then Bland I believe that's his 7th, will advance to second base. A little bit of running to get those 2 runners into scoring position now, break up the possibility of a double play. It was a strike on the pitch, and that's going to be strike 2. Another nice curveball back door in there from Ethan. So Scumaci with a couple of RBI opportunities here. Already scored twice himself, but yet to drive one in so far today. It's also a home run threat with 4 bombs on the year. Nice pitch, looked like a changeup, just a little bit low and outside. Good chase pitch, but didn't get Scumaci to chase that one. 1-2 now. And that curveball swung on and missed, and that's going to be the first strikeout for Jensen. And that's going to be the first out of the inning for him. So looking to get one more of those at least here. And the first baseman, Wank. Scumaci goes down swinging. That'll be the first out of the inning. First baseman, Wank, now up to bat. Wank so far today 0 for 1. He also has a sac fly that plated the shortstop Lang back in that 3rd inning. That was the first run of the 3rd inning, actually. Got an RBI there. And had a single in the 1st with another RBI to score Scumaci. So 2 RBIs on the day for Wank so far, and he's got an opportunity for 2 more and double that total here with 1 out, runners on 2nd and 3rd. He's in a hitter's count, so he'll be swinging away at something that he likes here, 2-0. It's a fastball hit in the 5-6 hole and just not able to get anybody. Fryer was almost there, but it hit a lip, and that will indeed double Wank's RBI total to 4 on the day. So massive day for the 4-hole in terms of bringing in the runs and bringing Bland and Berg there. So Illinois Tech able to claw away 1 in the bottom of the 3rd, making a 6-2 game a 6-3 game, and then North Central able to put together a couple of hits, a walk, an error, and those are 2 unearned runs that have now scored against Jensen, or 1 unearned run, excuse me. The walk definitely counts as an earned run. And that will bring up to the plate now with, and that ball scoots right under Bolliker's glove, and it's going to allow the pinch hitter to get his first hit of the game. So if you remember, Saul was taken out for Kochecki, the pitcher who was pinch running, who ended up coming around to score, and then that was number 14. Number 14 with Matthew Falzone here replacing Saul in the 4. So he's now aboard on first base, and runners on 1st and 2nd now for the center fielder Cobberly. Jensen will start him out with a curveball down. Excuse me, it was called a strike, 0-1. Got 1 out here with runners on 1st and 2nd. That one's going to be away, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Cobberly. Lefty-lefty matchup. Fastball just outside. Be ball 2. Cobberly so far today singled in that 3rd inning, part of that 5-hit hit train that they had rolling, and grounded out in the 2nd. It's fastball in there, and that'll make it 2-2. One out in the inning. There is a double play in order at all the bases here with runners on 1st and 2nd. The 2-2 is hit very softly, almost bunt-like to 3rd base. Bolliker will come up with it, but not able to get there quite in time to even attempt to throw at the speedy Cobberly, who's their North Central's center fielder today, so that'll go down as an
Left
infield
fielder
hit
number 8,
for Carberly, his second hit
Parker
on the day. And that will advance Falzone over to second base and move Wank over to third. So the bases are juiced now with one out for the left fielder, Wyatt, batting .250 coming into today, and he's 1 for 1 with a walk. Fouls the first pitch away back. Wyatt now looking to play it in a couple more runs for North Central. Jensen might have another idea in mind. 1-1 here as he missed that fastball just up and out. So you got Wank on third, Saul at second base, or excuse me, Falzone at second base. That ball is hit high and deep out to left field, and that is gone. That's going to be a grand slam for the left fielder, Parker Wyatt. That's his second home run of the year, and add 4 more RBIs to that total, and add 4 more runs to that scoreboard. It's now a 12-3 game. This one's got out of hand in a hurry. That was a big fly, just left over the middle and gone almost instantly. You got
Next up at bat,
Luke
catcher
Yachten
number 40, Andre Medina.
with a courtesy jog out there to left, but that ball was way out of here. Wind died down. We've seen the wind blowing in from left field earlier in the game, but not a lot of wind according to the flagpole at the moment. So trying to follow up a grand slam will be the catcher Medina. Medina so far today is 0 for 1. Grounded into lined into a double play, in the second inning, and then reached on an error in the third, and he swings through that one. No 1-1, just a little bit too low. It'll be 2-1 now. And that one's in there for a strike. Make it 2-2. 12-3 ball game. It's been a couple of long innings, the third and the fourth here, and that one swung on and missed. Nice strikeout there by Jensen, able to bounce back after that grand slam. Gets the swinging strikeout, so his only 2 outs that he's been able to record this inning have both been on swinging strikeouts. Struck out the 3-hole hitter Sumachi as well as the righty Medina. So he'll now face the shortstop Lang, who lined out to right field to end the third inning. And that ball is hit sharply up the middle. It's going to fall in front of Tyler Gutsfeld, and that's going to be a single for Lang. So make it a 2-for-3 day for him, and North Central has now batted around for the second time in 2 innings. And we're back to the top of the order here with Berg. Berg earlier in this inning to get it started reached on an error. Later coming around to score, and so he's the only unearned run so far this inning. Berg now has a man on first base for him. And he's going to hit that softly down the third base line and about a couple feet out of play as Bolliker reaches it a couple steps in front of the bag. Other than reaching on an error, Berg is 0 for 2 today, flying out to Lucas Swan behind the dish and Luke Yaknin out in left field. So looking to get his first hit on the day. He is batting .321, at least coming into this game with a couple of bombs. So law of averages tells you that he's going to get one here eventually. He's swinging through that one, though. 0-2. So 2 outs, and Jensen's 1 strike away from getting out of what has proven to be a long inning here. That's a fastball just off the outside corner. Another 5 hits in this inning, so The 0 and 2, 1 and 2, excuse me. Make it 2 and 2 as that one's in the dirt. The 2 and 2. Swung on and missed, but gets off the glove of Lucas Wan, and Berg's running quickly down to first base, and Michael Paxton tells him to hold off, so that's going to go down as a drop third strike, but then reach on to pass ball. Will also allow Lang to advance over to second base. And Berg will find himself on first base, so Ed Ziefert will come out and make a change, see if we can get a little bit of different mojo out there defensively for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. 2 outs, runners on first and second, as we'll come back to you with the top of the fourth. So welcome back to a warm and sunny day of Scarlet Hawk baseball. The last couple innings haven't been so warm and sunny for the Scarlet Hawks defense, giving up 5 in the third and 6 so far this inning. The new pitcher for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks will be Gabe Kotwazinski, who will relieve Ethan Jensen of his duties. Jenny made it through the first couple of outs here and allowed 6 runs, 5 of them earned, and he's still responsible for the runners on first and second. Hasn't been helped out by his defense too much. A pair of errors and a couple of drop third strikes didn't go his way. Able to record 2 strikeouts to get those 2 outs. Wasn't able to get help from the defense just about anything else. And not to discredit a lot of good hitting on North Central's side, putting together 5 hits, including a grand slam to plate 4 out of those 6 runs this inning. And so up now for North Central, who will face the freshman Gabe Gotwazinski, is the third baseman Bland. Bland so far today is 1 for 2 with a walk. He's scored twice. Scored in the third as well as the fourth. So scored earlier this inning, I guess, is what that means. Gabe quickly has him 0 and 2. And a curveball just a little bit high. Gabe, last time we saw Gabe, he was tasked with recording 1 out to get the save against Rockford and was able to do so. So that was exciting to see Gabe get his first save in his freshman year. He's been a high-impact guy for them so far. Posted up a 4.15 ERA as a freshman, which is always exciting. Fastball's in the dirt, stopped nicely by Lucas. So Gabe's got a lot of promise. Big frame as a freshman. Exciting to think about what his ceiling is going to look like over the next 4 years. been battling some illness of late. That's why we haven't seen him in a game since Rockford. So it's great to see him out there today. And that ball is hit softly over to Michael Paxson, who grabs it. It's a foot race over to first base, and he's going to beat Bland by about a step. So that will retire the sides, but not after a grand slam and 5 hits later. We got a 12-3 ball game. Scarlet Hawks trying to chip away.
Now playing second base for North Central, number 4, Colby Fuji. And at left field, number 11, Yuki Yamada.
All right, I don't know if you could hear that on our PA system, but we got a couple of defensive changes here for North Central. We got Fuji coming in at second base to replace Sumachi, as well as Yamada is going to get his first action here out in left field. He's able to make that catch easily. So I'll announce those one more time when they come through the order, because that's a little bit easier for me. But Lucas Juan quickly retired here in the bottom of the 4th for the Scarlet Hawks. So if you're just joining us, you've missed a lot of action. We're going to take a break here, but it's a 12-3 ball game. North Central is going to go to the pen and let some other arms get some opportunities here in this non-conference game. We got a 9-run lead. Might as well let some guys get some looks. Illinois Tech's got a long way to go to scrape back, but they got a long way to go left in this game. So that will retire or end Pritchard's day, excuse me. So he'll come out with 3 1/3 innings pitched. Got a strikeout, 1 walk, 5 hits, 3 runs, and 2 of them earned. So pretty solid day from the junior in his first start of the year. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. I was with you for a moment as Lucas Wan flied out to start the bottom of the fourth for the Scarlet Hawks, but then North Central went to the bullpen, and so now in for them is Jim Shorthall, the sophomore out of Forest Park, Illinois. So far, Shorthall on the year has pitched 4 2/3 of an inning, giving up 4 runs in that time frame on 4 hits, 5 walks, and putting up 4 Ks. So looking for an opportunity here in non-conference. His last appearance looks like that was also against Illinois Tech back on the 23rd, so a couple of weeks ago. He went 2 1/3 of an inning against the Hawks, giving up 1 hit and 1 run. So pretty solid day for him last time against the Scarlet Hawks. Did give up 3 walks, though, so we'll see how that comes into play today. But nevertheless, Jim Shortall will get started here against the freshman Alex Bolliker, and Bolliker is going to dribble that one over to the first baseman, who's going to throw it, and it's going to be bobbled by the new pitcher Shorthall, so wasn't quite enough time for Wank to take care of that himself. Just kind of flips it back to Shorthall and not really able to bring it in. Tough like receiving on the run. Not something you practice too much in PFPs. That's a strange one. So that will get Bolliker in. We'll see if they put that up as an hitter and error on the scoreboard. I already saw Bolliker record his first collegiate hit earlier in the game, so that was exciting. We'll see if this will go down as his second. Up to bat now for the Scarlet Hawks is Luke Yaknin. He's going to watch a fastball in there for strike 1. He grounded out to third base his first time up against the starter Pritchard. Pritchard had a good day, his first start of the season. 4 1/3, got a strikeout, a lot of walk, 5 hits. Only came in for 3 runs and only 2 of those earned, so not a bad first start of the season for Pritchard. Luke will swing through that one for strike number 2, 0-2 on Luke. I think they have put Bolliker's in as a hit, so that'll be his second hit of the year. Exciting for him. 2 for 2 today, as Alex Bolliker is now over at first base. Luke Yaknin, 0 for 1 today, is now down 0-2 in the counts against the reliever Shortall. That's a fastball swung on and missed. Nice low, hard fastball, and that's going to be the first strikeout and the first out recorded for Shorthall. And that will bring up the 9-hole hitter, the sophomore Mario Riccio. Mario, in his first AB, flew out to right field. He's got 1 hit on the year, picked up his first hit on Thursday in a doubleheader against Marion, so he's looking for number 2 on the year. There's a fastball in there for strike 1, so Shorthall has a little bit more velo behind him, perhaps, than Pritchard, the lefty, did. Looks to be sitting around 83 to 84. Pretty flat fastball. He's got a big loopy curveball coming out of that lengthy frame. Haven't seen it so far in AB, but I saw it in warm-ups. Fastball in there for strike 2. 0-2 on Mario now. Illinois Tech trailing a ton, looking to scratch some across any way they can. The 0-2, that's that big loopy curveball. Bounced about 4 feet in front of Medina back there, but blocked nicely by him to prevent Bolliker from moving. No, 1-2 now to Mario. And that's fouled away. Straight back, nice fight by Mario there. Making it 1-2. We'll do it again. The 1-2. Fastball in there, and it's dribbled down the third base line. Shortall will take it himself, throw it over to first base, and it's going to be in time. Great job fielding his position by Shortall and making the inning short. So the relief man does his job. We'll see if he comes back out. Top of the 5th when we come back.
Hawks now in left field, number 2, Josh Minami.
Well, welcome back to Scarlet Hawk Baseball. Scarlet Hawks trying to chip away at 12-3 lead. Weren't able to put up anything in the bottom of the 4th, so they're going to have to try and hold down the fort now here in the top of the 5th. They've given up big numbers in the last couple of innings to North Central. A 5 spot in the 3rd and a 6 spot in the 4th. So Gabe Kotwazinski is now in the game. He was able to record that last out in the 5th, and he's going to look to start with a clean frame here in the 6th. Got a little bit of a delay due to the music, but we have a pinch hitter now. I mentioned this briefly, but Fuji is now in for Sumachi, and he's going to sky this one out left field, and it's going to be just a little bit out of play for Scarlet Hawks crashing in there. So it's a Fuji substitution. He did come in the bottom of the 4th to play defense, and he will now be taking over the cleanup role for Sumachi. Sumachi had a pretty solid day. Had a double and scored a run in the 1st, walked and scored a run in the 3rd, and then struck out to end his day in the 4th. There's a strike in there for strike number 2 from Gabe. So Colby Fuji is a senior infielder. He's from Mililani, Hawaii. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Apologize if not. 0-2 to him. Let's change up down. Fuji this so far on the year has 41 ABs and 10 hits in that span, and so that puts him at an average of 244. He has 9 runs driven in, as well as 9 starts on the year. So seems to be an everyday player, or at least sometimes an everyday player. He's got 14 appearances and only 9 starts, so he might be rotated in and out at second base position. Not too clear at the moment, but regardless, he's getting some opportunity here in the non-con game as senior looks to make his mark on his senior season. Got a 2-2 count now against freshman Gabe. That's a fastball hit sharply up the middle and dropped by Fryer, who's going to make a loopy throw over to first base, not able to get him. So there's a 3rd ball so far today booted by Fryer, and he seems like that one might have got him in the wrist. It was a hard line drive right at him, kind of got him handcuffed. Yep, got him in the bare hand, and he is coming off the field in pain. So we're going to hope for the best for him. He's a staple in the Illinois Tech lineup in defense. He's going to get it checked out by the trainer. It looks like they might be taking Fryer out. I just heard Jack Finch get told to play some catch. I don't think he's going to have time to play catch. He's going to go out there and play shortstop. That's what it looks like. And Finch is coming off, or Fryer, excuse me, is coming off the field. So we'll hope for the best for him. That will end Fryer's day on a line drive that just handcuffed him and must have gotten his bare hand. It's going to go in the books as an E6. That will get Fuji aboard. So Finch now has his watch, and he's going to go out to most likely shortstop. Bovee is now also in the game for Mario. That happened at the top of the inning, not during this brief pause that we've had. Got a lot of mixing and matching, a lot of keeping track of the book here as I'm working this game by myself, so bear with me. Now Mario will come out for Bovee in the 5th year, and then Fryer will also come out for Finch in the 5th year, and like I said, hope for the best for him. So Finch will get a couple warm-up throws. There you go. At least make sure that arm's hot. It's It is a nicer day here in the Midwest, but it's not that nice. You can't just go out there and start throwing out of nowhere. So able to let him get his wing loose a little bit, which is good for his arm health, I'm sure. And have a brief pause in the game. So Finch will be playing shortstop. That will be interesting. We haven't seen anybody man the shortstop position besides Fryer so far this year, and we'll see how they decide to do some rearrangement. You got two freshmen in the infield now in Bolliker and Finch. Bovey, the junior, he was put in at second base to replace Mario, but we'll see if they decide to shift those guys around in any way and who Coach Z wants to try out at shortstop. Wind sure is picking up here, and it's getting a little bit colder. It seems to do that in the late afternoons here for these Chicago games right off the lakefront. As the wind picks up later in the day, and you know what started out as a nice warm sunny day, and find myself putting on my heavy layers. If you know, with North Central not being too far away, those of you that have ever watched a spring baseball game in the Midwest will understand. So with the pitch clock being instituted, you might be thinking, well, what the heck? It's taking forever for Finch to get warmed up out there. Whenever there's an injury substitution, you know, whether that's on the mound or in the field, there's no clock on getting those guys ready. You want to make sure guys are warmed up and ready to play. So Bolliker will move over to second base now, and looks like Finch will head over to third. And Matthew Bovey will get his first reps at shortstop. He played a little bit of shortstop his freshman year, and once Fryer came in, he asserted himself at that position, moving Bovey over to second. They've been the middle infield for the Scarlet Hawks thus far, but Bovey will now get some reps at shortstop, so that'll be fun to see. Gabe will face off here against Wank. And that ball right away going to Bovey. It's over to Bolliker, and a tailor-made double play. So, hey, a little rearrangement on the infield doesn't seem to have bothered these guys as they make a nice and easy double play and erase that E6 essentially off the board. A nice 6-4-3 by an unusual middle infield, I might say. I don't think those guys have ever worked together. And you know, Bolliker at second base and Bovey at shortstop, so might be a little bit uncomfortable for them, but it doesn't sure seem that way after that double play. Gabe will now face who's now in the designated hitter spot. I believe it is Filzen, perhaps. So he came in for Saul in the fourth and ended up getting a single right away. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Got a 1-1 count near against the freshman Gabe Kotwazinski. 1-2, excuse me. Gabe's doing a good job here of attacking these hitters and throwing a lot of strikes. Besides that fastball that was hit sharply from Fuji that ended up hitting Fryer and taking him out of the game. It's been a lot of soft contact. There's another soft contact over to Finch, gloved as on the running throw and scooped nicely by Paxson, and that's going to be retired in semi-short order with the double play there. So finally putting up a 0 is the Scarlet Hawks, and they're going to try and do some work on this 9-run deficit here in the bottom of the fifth when we come back. Welcome back to Scarlet Hawk Baseball. I'm David Cooper bringing you the bottom of the fifth and what has been a long game up to this point. We're sitting at the 1 hour and 40-minute mark and only halfway through this one. And halfway through this one, the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks find themselves down at 12-3. Looking to chip away. They're at the top of their order here in the fifth, and that will be Tyler Gutzfeld, the center fielder today, looking to get things started. So he hit a solo shot, his first AB of the game, and then in the second inning flew out to center fielder. So 1 for 2 on the day and fouls that one away. The North Central reliever Shortall is still in the game. Did nice work after coming in for Pritchard in the bottom of the fourth. He gave up a single on what was kind of just a fielding mishap, ended up being an infield single, and then struck out Luke Yaknin and retired Mario fielding his own position. So 1-1 now to Tyler Gutzfeld, excuse me. It's a curveball in there for strike two. There's that loopy curveball that we've seen. Haven't seen it too much so far. But very, very unique. You don't get a lot of guys that have the 12-6 hammer anymore. A lot of guys are throwing sliders or sweepers or not Shortall. Fastball blown by Gutzfeld, and that's a big strikeout there for Shortall as he's trying to keep this lead exactly where it is and does a good job thus far. He's not done, though. He's not out of the woods. He's got Michael Paxson up now. Paxson so far today, 1 for 2 with a single in the third. Later coming around to score the third of those three Illinois Tech runs that you see up on the scoreboard and struck out in the first. So Paxson looking to do some damage and get something started here for the Scarlet Hawks. There's that 12-6, but not able to get all the way back inside the strike zone. On deck now is Jack Finch, who came in for Friar, so he'll get his first AB of the day. Fastball just missed by Paxson, tipped back to the backstop. 1 out for Pax, 1-1 count. That one's hit high and out of play. Back to our right. It's going to be out there on 31st Street. 1-2 now to Paxson. Trying to get a little something cooking here against the sophomore short haul. Only put up 1 hit against him so far in an inning of work. And a fastball is hit hard out to center field, and turning is Cobberly, but he settles under it and able to make the play. So a nice route by him, able to gather in that one that was struck well by Paxson, just not able to have quite enough lift, and he hit it to the deepest part of the park. So that'll be the second out for the Scarlet Hawks here in the fifth, and freshman Jack Finch will get his first AB of the day. He usually has been the starting third baseman for the Scarlet Hawks so far this year, and not playing here today to give his counterpart freshman Alex Bolliker a chance to play some third base. And Bolliker's done well. He's 2 for 2 today. Picked up his first hit in the second inning and then snagged another one in the fourth. So 2 infield singles for him, and he's got some tallies in the hits column in his career stats. Finch now and fouled the first one sharply down the first base line, and that one's going to be a fastball in the dirt, so it'll be 1-1, 2 outs here for the freshman. There's been some defensive substitutions for North Central, but I'll let you know who's in when they come up to bat. It's a little easier for me. They're a little far. There's a curveball in there for strike two. Nicely located 12-6. Inner third, bottom of the zone there. 1-2 now. Is tapped lightly over to third base and throw it over and retire Finch. No problem. So Bland's still playing third base, and he's been exceptional today. Scarlet Hawks still trailing 9. We're headed into the 6th. Welcome back to Scarlet Hawk Baseball. I'm David Cooper bringing you the top of the sixth here where Illinois Tech is looking to throw up another zero. Gabe Katwazinski threw up a fantastic zero through an inning and a third, getting them out of the top of the fourth and then retiring the side in short order in the top of the fifth. And now Alex Lazas will get a chance, the senior. He's coming in. Lazas coming in to face the 6, 7, 8 hole hitters here for North Central's lineup. He's going to start off with the center fielder Cobberly. He's so far 2-0 in Cobberly. Lazas so far this year throwing 4 and a third. And that one's hit over to Bolliker, who's now playing second base, and he's going to flip it over to Michael Paxson. So a nice start for Lazas there, retiring Cobberly. As I was saying, Lazas has thrown 4 and a third so far this year. He's given up 9 runs in that span, or 14 runs, excuse me, but only 9 of them earned in that span. And that was on 9 hits and 9 walks, and he's put up 3 Ks in that time. So starts off Wyatt with a strike here. That's probably not Wyatt anymore, excuse me. A lot of substitutions here in this non-conference game. It's Yamada, that's right. Yamada came in for Wyatt in the 5th. So he's getting his first AB of the day. And that's a changeup. That's called a little bit high. Yamada's got a frame on the shorter side, making it a little bit of a smaller target for Lazas here. It's 1-2. That's a fastball, grounded over to third base, and not able to get there is Jack Finch, and so that's going to be a single in his first AB of the day for Yamada. A good pitch there by Yamada, or good pitch by Lazas, excuse me. Just a seeing eye signal for Yamada, getting that through the 5-6 hole. Seen a lot of balls hit through the 5-6 hole today. That'll put a runner on for North Central. Just trying to add on to their 12-3 lead. You know, they're thinking about the mercy rule. I don't want to head into the 8th with a 9-run lead, that's for sure. If you can make it 10 and make it a 7-inning game, then that's what you want to do if you're in the driver's seat, which North Central has been thus far. So Lazas now retires his first batter on the ground out and got another ground ball, but snuck through a hole, so there'll be a runner on first with 2 outs. 1-1. That's a fastball swung on and missed, and Medina is no longer hitting in this spot for North Central Cardinals. It is Owen Ziaja. A 2-2 on Ziaja. Yamada down at first base. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch, and that's spiked into the dirt, and Yamada's off and running. Lucas makes the throw, and it's not going to be grabbed by Bolliker, who kind of had to run around the Yamada, who was sliding into second base, and the throw was towards his side of the bag, but Yamada was in there safely, so that'll be a stolen base for Yamada. North Central now threatening again with 1 out. A full count here to Ziaja. It's fastball away, and that will be the first walk issued by Alex Lazas this afternoon. Putting runners on first and second here, and coming up in the 9-hole the 9-hole is no longer the shortstop Lang, but it's going to be number 1 Chris Hamilton, or Joe Hamilton, excuse me. I said Chris on the PA. Joe Hamilton this year. Batting 188. He's got 3 starts, 6 appearances thus far, and 3 hits through 16 ABs. So a couple of ribbies knocked in, and here's another good opportunity for him to add on to that total with runners on first and second here in the 6th. Starting a hitter's count too. It's 2-0, so he'll be looking to grab an RBI opportunity, and pitching coach for the Scarlet Hawks, Ryan Cantlin, will go out to visit Alex Lawes. Give him a little bit of a reset. Want to make the most of facing the bottom of the order here before they have to go back and face the top. Wind's died down just a touch. It's been a little bit more enjoyable for us here out in the stands. Got some chuckles coming out of that mound visit from Ryan Cantlin and Lucas Juan. Keeping it light out there. That's a big part of a pitching coach's job when he takes a mound visit, is he can get so serious during the game and put so much pressure on yourself as a pitcher and a catcher, and his job to kind of tell a joke maybe, let him relax a little bit. 2-0 now, and that's a fastball in there for strike 1. So the reset worked, at least for the first pitch. It's 2-1 now here to Hamilton. A 2-1. Fastball hit high in the air, and that's in the left center gap. Josh Manami, who's now playing left field, will roam over and make the catch, and Yamada's going to tag from third, and the throw's not handled by Bovey as the pickoff man, as Manami one-hopped him, and so that's going to allow Yamada to advance easily, putting runners at the corner here with 2 outs for North Central.
Next up at bat, number 32, Frankie Valley.
And so now, instead of Berg in the leadoff spot, it will be number 32, Frankie Valley. Frankie Valley's a sophomore out of Glen Ellen, Illinois. The lefty bat. He's going to start with strike 1. Valley so far this year has 30 plate appearances and 8 hits in those 30 plate appearances, giving him an average of .267. And he's going to swing and miss on a nice breaking ball from Alex Laza. There's a lot of movement there in late break. I think he's calling that a slider these days. He likes to mix up which breaking balls he has which season. So obviously I haven't caught him since last year, so don't quite know what he's been up to this year, but it looked like a slider to me. Reach back for a little bit of extra there and not able to get it in the zone. It's 1-2. So 1-2 to Valley. Got 2 outs and runners at the corners. That swung on and missed. Nice change up there by Alex Lazas and able to get out of it unscathed. Scarlet Hawks will try and chip away here. Bottom of the 6th when we come back. Welcome back to Scarlet Hawk Baseball. The Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks down 12-3 here in the bottom of the sixth, and they will try and scratch across their first run against their reliever, Shortall. Shortall, the sophomore, has done tremendously thus far. He's thrown 1 1/3 up to this point, only giving up 1 hit and then retiring his next 5. So got through the top of that Illinois Tech order, which is kind of scary with no Sweat. Now he's going to be facing Tanner Jenkins, who's doing the DHing today in place of originally Philly Benz, but Jenkins has gotten a couple of opportunities here. Philly B came out with what appeared to be some sort of an ankle injury. Tanner grounded out to third base his first time up, but that was against the starter Pritchard. So this is his first time seeing Shortall. 1-1 now to him. He's fouled a fastball back and watched a curveball low. Here's the pitch. It's fastball in there and hit out to the shortstop. Fields it on a long hop, throws over to first base, and it's not in time to get the speedy Tanner Jenkins. Tanner's pumped up, and that's a hit for him. So he'll record a hit here in the bottom of the sixth to get the Scarlet Hawks started. And, you know, if you're a Scarlet Hawks fan, you're looking for them to start to piece something together here. That run rule is looming, and they're only down 9, but should North Central score one more run in the top of the 7th, they're going to be limited in the amount of ABs that they have. And in place of Chris DeGroot is going to be Freddie Swingle here in the bottom of the 6th, making the substitution as a pinch hitter. So he'll come up to face the sophomore Shortall. Swingle so far this year, it's 15 ABs and 3 hits during those 15 ABs. He's got 4 starts and 8 appearances and does have an RBI in that time, so 200 average for Freddie. He's been taking good swings, though, when he's had opportunities, and there's one right there. That's blasted down the first base line and just foul. So Freddie thought it might have stayed fair. He was running hard. Tanner was running hard. Dugout all got up to see where that one was going to land, and just about 6 feet foul. Good swing for Freddie, right on cue. As I'm mentioning how he's been putting some good swings together. He doesn't have a lot to show for it so far in the stats, but had a lot of hard outs, and Illinois Tech will be told to stay in the dugout as they're leaking out a little bit. They're excited for Freddie. They want to see him succeed, and got a brand of brotherhood here. But Tanner Jenkins is a massive speed threat. We just saw him beat out an infield single over at first base, and Freddie's going to watch a curveball in there for strike number 2. So quickly down 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Shortall is a curveball down, and that's going to kick away from the catcher, and Tanner is going to easily walk into second base. Good ball read by him. That will be a wild pitch that will move Tanner over to second base. Swingle with an RBI opportunity now with a runner in scoring position. Doesn't have any RBIs so far on the year, so he's looking to pick up his first. Good opportunity here. No outs still for the Scarlet Hawks. They're trying to chip away at a 12-3 deficit. That's a fastball in there for strike 3. Nice location there by Shortall, just over the outside part of the plate. Hadn't really thrown any of that so far. Thrown a fastball in. It was foul ball. Thrown a couple curveballs, and then it goes away. Catches Freddie by surprise, and that's going to be out number 1 for the Cardinals. So Tanner's hit, that infield single, was only the second hit given up by Shortall so far. That was also Tanner's first hit of the year. Look at that. There's 7 ABs. Hadn't recorded a hit yet, and he beat one out for an infield single. So we've seen 2 first hits on the season. I can't remember if Tanner got any hits last year, but that's his first one of the year, and Bolliker's first one of the year, and he's a freshman, so it's the first one of his career. 1-0 count now to Lucas Wan. He's going to sky it out to left. He's going to be in foul territory, but can Yamada get there? He will not. It's going to fall just a couple feet in front of the fence. Long run. Not quite able to do it. So Juan will get a new life here with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. A couple runs here would mean a lot. Still a lot of time. Although time is ticking down. You got the rest of the 6 here, the 7th, 8th, and 9th, if you can avoid that mercy rule. So opportunity to chip away here, but it's kind of got to start now. There's strike number 2 for Lucas 1, 1 and 2. Only 7 hits thus far for Illinois Tech. Been able to scratch across 3 runs, but they've put up 2 zeros in the last 2 frames. It's fastball up and away. He retired in short order last inning by Shortall. Striking out Guts, getting Pax to fly out, and getting Finch to ground out. So Tanner started him off a little bit differently here, and that's going to be a ground ball up the middle, fielded by the shortstop, thrown over and picked nicely by the first baseman, but field umpire will say that he was off the bag, and that's going to go down as a throwing error on the shortstop. We'll put runners on the corners here for the Scarlet Hawks as they try and get a little something going here on the bottom of the 6th. Lucas reaches on an error, and Tanner will advance over to third. So runners on first and third for the freshman Alex Bolliker. He's 2 for 2 today, 2 infield singles. Those are the first 2 of his career. Dare I say he picks up a third and goes 3 for 3. That would be exciting, especially if he can get an RBI here. And there's that curveball from Shortall just right in there. That is a massive 12-6 curveball. Almost looks like he's going to throw it to the backstop, and then it just falls out of the sky. 0-1 now to Bolliker. There's another curveball. Same thing. Catching him by surprise. Just freezing him on the 12-6. Haven't seen really any Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks take hacks at it so far. 0-2. This fastball swung on and missed over the outside plate, so Bolliker is 2 for 3 on the day. He's going to give the scouting report to Josh Minami, who's now going to have his first AB of the day.
Next up at bat number 2, Josh Minami.
The going down swinging brings up Josh Minami, who took over left field for Luke Yaknin a couple of innings ago, and this will be his first AB. It's a fastball spiked, and it's going to get by. Tanner's going to come home and score easily, and so there you go. That'll trim up the deficit a little bit. It's 12-4. Lucas also able to advance to second. So that puts a runner in scoring position for Minami here, so a chance to continue to chip away for him, and he's going to start 1-0. And that ball is hit out to second base, and a nice grab by the second baseman, and that's going to retire Minami. So Illinois Tech scratches 1 across, still trailing 8 as we head to the 7. Welcome back to Scarlet Hawk Baseball and North Central Cardinals Baseball here. North Central so far in the driver's seat, have an 8-run lead headed into the 7th inning here, and we're starting to see some new bats enter the North Central lineup. And up now to take his first AB of the day is number 9, Vincent Merlot. Vincent hits this one sky high, and it's going to be called for by Matthew Bovey over at shortstop now, and that's going to retire Merlot, who was hitting in the 2-hole in place of the third baseman Bland. I'm almost tempted to write down a P4 in my book there rather than a P6. I used to seeing Bovey out at shortstop, but he's done a great job so far. Fuji's up here, and he's going to hit that one down the left field line, and a couple feet foul. Almost a nice bloop hit. This is Fuji's second at-bat of the game. In his first one, he reached on an error, and then was later doubled off by a Bovey, Bullock, or Paxson double play. Alex Laza is still on the mound for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks, so it's fouled away as well. Laza's had a good first inning with a K hit and a walk. 0-2 now, on Fuji. Small left-handed senior facing the small right-handed senior out on the mound. And that ball is hit out to left field. Manami will take a handful of steps to his right and bring it in. And that's going to be out number 2 for Alex Lazas. So making quick work here is Lazas throwing strikes, getting soft contact up in the air, and wind's blowing in from right now. It keeps changing directions on us, but it's going to knock down most balls in the air unless they're really smacked. And we have another new hitter here for North Central. And that is A.J. Kuchar. Kuchar so far this year has 18 ABs and 3 hits in that time. And a couple of them are triples, though, so he able to leg it out. And there's some opportunities in this park to leg it out, but he's down 0-2 right now. That's a fastball in there for strike 3. So Lazas retires the side with a couple of pop flies and a strikeout. Good work of inning for him. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back to Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawk Baseball. We have a new pitcher now for the North Central Cardinals, and it is number 28, Jack Eldridge, who is a senior from Aurora, Colorado, close to home, listed at 6'1", 175. He doesn't have any stats thus far on the year, unless I missed him. I'll double check that for you, but he's going to start his outing here by facing Matthew Bovey, who swings and misses on the fastball. Let's see, do we have a number 28 on the pitching? We do not. So this appears to be Eldridge's first outing, and that ball's hit sharply by Bovey. It's dropped by the second baseman, and Bovey's going to be able to beat it out. And that ball is thrown out of play, so Bovey will then advance to second on the throwing error. So nice job there by Bovey.
Next up for the Scarlet Hawks, number 5, Tyler Gutsfeld.
So he's going to reach on the E4. He's going to reach second on the E4 there. And now we're at the top of the order, and one of the only Scarlet Hawks to stay in the order thus far this game. There's been a lot of substitutions in this non-con game is Tyler Gutsfeld, so he'll be taking his at-bats here in the 7th. And take that one low for a ball. Tyler so far today had a solo shot in the first inning, then flew out to center field and struck out in the 5th. So looking to get a little bit else something going here, and that ball is fouled away. It's going to be 1-1. Hawks trailing 8. Able to scratch one away in the bottom of the 6th, and then put up a 0 in the top of the 7th. A nice job by Alex Laza. So they are looking to continue to chip away. And that ball is also fouled away. Just a little bit of a two-seam fastball that Guts is a little bit under. See if he's on time for the next one. It's 1-2. Michael Paxson also still in the lineup. He is on deck. Ed Ziefert wants to make sure his two guys get their swings in. Not giving them a day off. 1-2. Fastball just outside. Very close. 2-2. Bovey over at second base. He can run. He'll be looking to score on a single. There's a curveball down, and Guts has now worked the count full. So the senior Eldridge, in his first outing of the year so far, has faced a little bit of trouble. A runner on second base, and he's got to face Tyler Gutsfeld, who hits this one high to left field, but it's not going to be nearly deep enough. Rolling over is the left fielder, who's able to bring it in for out number 1. So one threat down. One more big threat to go, and Michael Paxson. Paxson so far today, only one hit, 1 for 3. He came around to score on a single in the 3rd inning. We got one out with a runner on second base. Bovey's out there. And Bovey's going to take off, and the throw down to third hits the ground, and not in time. Bovey's going to get there, and Bovey also appears to not be in the best shape. Looks like something might have gotten caught on that dive. We've had a lot of Scarlet Hawk starters go down in this one, which is unfortunate. Ed Ziefert's going to check him out, and they're going to wave off the trainer, so that's a good sign from Bovey. He's gotten banged up a lot in the last couple of games. He got hit in the hand yesterday during an AB, and he's been battling from a shoulder injury that he got on Thursday, kind of a bruised shoulder. So that's what 40 games will do to you. It'll beat you up, especially if you're an everyday guy like Bovey. Paxson fouls one off there. It's 0-2. Oh, 2 to Paxson. Now it's a fastball just off the outside corner. Another close one. One and 2. fastball hit over to first base, caught on the one hop by the first baseman, and steps on first base to retire Paxton. So nice job by the senior Eldridge to get through the two heavy hitters in the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawk lineup. Bovey's still standing on third base, and he's going to try and strand him. So he now has to face the freshman Jack Finch. Finch in his last AB, who came in for Fryer in the fifth, grounded out to the third baseman. And he hits that one sharply up the middle, and that's going to plate another run for the Scarlet Hawks. So a good piece of hitting there by Jack Finch, and he is aboard with his first hit of the afternoon, making him 1 for 2. A nice little RBI, add some RBIs to that total.
Batting next, number 12, Tanner Jenkins.
A 12-5 game now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Illinois Tech continues to chip away, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and still trailing 7. Tanner Jenkins now up for the Scarlet Hawks. He squares, but pulls back as it's fastball in the dirt. So Eldridge able to retire Pax and Guts. Not able to get the freshman. Great swing there from Jack Finch. Bring Bovey home. That, of course, was made possible by Bovey stealing third base there. Another fastball in the dirt. 2-0. Wind is getting quite chilly out here for the spectators. It's picked up a little bit. It's been on and off throughout the afternoon. Sun's still out, which is always nice. 2-0 count here to Jenkins. It's a fastball on the outside half of the plate. It's going to be strike 1. The 2-1, and that's a fastball that hits Tanner, and that's going to put another runner aboard for the Scarlet Hawks. So a little bit of 2-out magic we're seeing here. Bring up Freddie Swingle, who struck out his first debut. Missed a double down the line by a couple of feet, and then Southall ended up getting the best of him, but he's going to get another opportunity against Eldridge here. Got a runner in scoring position. They're going to come out and take a visit. They might be making a move. Just going to be a visit this time. North Central wants to make sure this one doesn't get out of hand, and Illinois Tech wants it to get out of hand. They're trying to put up a big number here, chasing 7. They've already put 1 up this inning, 1 up last inning, but a big number wouldn't hurt. They haven't been massively out-hit by the North Central Cardinals. They're down 12-8 in the hits category, but the scoreboard says 12-5 in the runs, which obviously means a bit more. It's ball 1 to Freddie. Freddie looking to put a good swing on one. That's a fastball upstairs, so a little bit of control issues here for the senior Eldridge, which I think was the concern of North Central coaching staff. Wanted to give him a breather without mound visit, but quickly back to 2-0, and Freddie's in a hitter's count here. Another fastball just down and out. 3-0 count to Freddie Swingle. On deck is Lucas Wan, still in the game. He took Philly Benz out, so he's going to likely be doing the catching for the rest of the afternoon as Eldridge throws a fastball in there for strike 1. 3-1 now to Freddie. Kicks and fires, and 3-1 is hit out to left field. It's hit hard. Left fielder roaming back and able to bring it in. So that's going to end the threat. Illinois Tech scratches another one across, still trailing 7. We've got 2 more innings of baseball here for you when we get back. Welcome back to Scarlet Hawk Baseball. Hawks trailing 7 now after putting up a pair of singles in the 6th and the 7th. Alex Lazos did a nice job of keeping the North Central Cardinals in check. His final line looks like 2 innings pitched, 2 Ks, 1 walk, 1 hit, and no runs. So great job by him. And now on the mound for the Scarlet Hawks is Haron Albuhija, and he gives up what is going to be a single, maybe a double on his first hit, and that tag is going to be on him and thrown out by a great throw by Tyler Gutsfeld straight into second base, and the shortstop Matthew Bovey puts it on him. So Haron, in his first collegiate appearance, gives up a knock, but defense coming to his aid and help him pick him up. He's going to start out with an out. So now the short that will bring up the center fielder, Coberly. Coberly so far today is 2 for 4. He's got a pair of singles. And like I said, this is Haron's first collegiate outing, so very exciting for him. Came in as a freshman battling some injuries, and that one's going to be rolled over to Michael Paxson. It's going to stay in fair territory, and he's going to take it unassisted. So a quick 2 outs for Haron in his collegiate debut.
Batting next for the Cardinals, number 11, Yuki Yamada.
And next up for the Cardinals is Yamada. Yamada has had 1 AB thus far this game. He's singled in his last time up against Lazos. That one got me to flinch. Not many do. But that one was right at me. A foul ball by Yamada will start it off 0-1. 2 outs now for Haron. That one's hit over to second base, and Mason Kim is going to boot it on the backhand and didn't go far. But that's going to go down as likely an error. We'll see what they put up on the scoreboard, and that does go down as an E4, which allows Yamada to reach. So it'll be the first base runner on now for Haron. But
Next up at bat, number
so far,
39, Owen Zijak.
3 batters. Should be 3 outs, or I guess first one was a hit, and then, thrown out at second base. Nice job by Tyler Gutsfeld, and then 2 ground balls there. So good outing so far in his debut from Haron. I'm going to start off next batter 1-0. Next batter is Ziaha. He came in for Medina in the 6th. And that's going to be a curveball in there for a strike 1. Nice job. Illinois Tech dugout is excited to see his debut. They're all on the fence, rooting him on. The 1-1. Curveball swung on and missed. Nice breaking ball. A little bit of sneaky late break there. More of a slider. Breaking ball nevertheless. Yamada over at first. He will run. See if they put him in motion here. That's a fastball, and it's going to be called for a balk on Haron. A little bit of excitement. Trying to get that first K of his career and just went a little bit too quick. So that will move Yamada over to second base on the balk. Still 1-2 here on Ziara. Slider upstairs. Just got a little bit under it. 2-2. So 2-2 with 2 outs here. That one swung on and missed, and that's the first K of his career. Congrats to Haron, a clean first inning. Seen a lot of firsts this game. Been exciting for the young Scarlet Hawks. We'll be back with the bottom of the 8th. Hawks trailing by 7. Welcome back to Scarlet Hawk Baseball. Scarlet Hawks down to their last 6 outs, and they're going to try and make some noise against the new pitcher for the North Central Cardinals, who is Ryan Gertis. He's a junior from Plainfield, Illinois, listed at 6'1", 185. Ryan so far this year has 9.2 innings pitched under his belt. He's given up 7 runs, but only 3 of them earned in that time on 13 hits and only 1 walk, so not a lot of walks for him through 9 innings of work. He's a lefty coming in to face the lefty Lucas Wan for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. Lucas so far today, well, that's going to be his first hit for today. I was about to say he's 0 for 3, but now he's 1 for 4, and nice single over the leaping shortstop there, and he's going to get a little bit of traffic on board for Illinois Tech as they're trailing by 7 here in the 8th. So Mason Kim will get his first AB of the day. He came in the 7th to replace Alex Bolliker, who had been moved over to second base, and now Mason is playing second base for him. It's a fastball from Gertis just a little bit outside. And that ball is hit back up the middle, thrown over to the shortstop, and over to first base. Taylor-made double play. Mason Kim grounds into a double play, and that's going to eliminate any sort of a threat thus far in the 8th inning from Illinois Tech, as we got the 1-6-3. I'll bring up Josh Minami, who hit a line drive to the second baseman in his last AB, and good piece of hitting, but just not able to find some grass, unfortunately. So he comes up with 2 outs now and fouls that one away on a check swing against Gertis. Minami not a ton of opportunities at the plate so far this season, so looking to make the most of it here. Like I said, put a good swing on the last AB. Takes that one. Josh is a man of shorter stature, so he's got a smaller strike zone. He can be a little bit more selective with the pitches that he sees, so another lefty-lefty matchup here. And that ball's ripped at the second baseman again. So robbed twice is Josh Minami. And that's going to make for a quick bottom of the 8th. We'll head to the top of the 9th. Illinois Tech trying to claw back, but first they got to hold North Central. Welcome back to 9th inning baseball here at Ed Glancy Field. Scarlet Hawks trailing 12-5. North Central looking to add on a couple more before they hope to close this one out here in the bottom of the 9th. But before we get to that, Harone is still on the mound for the Scarlet Hawks. He's making his collegiate debut. Had a great first inning. Seeing 4 batters and not allowing any runs, only 1 hit, and also recording his first career strikeout. So awesome stuff for him. He is now tasked with finishing the job here in the 9th inning, and he's facing Hamilton, who is the batter in the 9-hole now, replacing shortstop Lang. That one's fouled away, so Harone's going to start him off 1-1 here. Hamilton in his last AB flew out to the left fielder. Josh Manami at the time. And a lot of substitutions. They had a couple Scarlet Hawks go down with injuries, but substitutions were part of the game plan anyway. This is a non-conference game, so want to let some guys get some ABs. And Harone records another strikeout, a backwards K on the curveball to retire Hamilton, and that's K number 2 in his career.
Next up at bat, number 32, Frankie Valley.
And next up will be Frankie Valley, who came in for right fielder Berg back in the 6th inning. So this will be his second AB. He struck out in his first one against Lozes. That one swung on and missed. High fastball, top of the zone. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Hit hard out to right field, and they're going back, and Gutsfeld and Swingle are going to collide, but Swingle ultimately brings it in. You never like to see that. Nobody fell down, so it wasn't too hard of a collision. They just kind of skirted around each other. Looked like there was some contact, but Harone will retire his 5th batter with the F9. Out number 2 for the Scarlet Hawks here in the inning, and now up to bat for North Central is Merlot, who came in to replace Bland in the 7th. He flew out to the shortstop in his last AB. 0-1 to him now. That's another curveball, drops in for strike 2. So good stuff out of Harone so far. Throwing a lot of strikes, getting both the fastball and the curveball in there for strikes. Able to get weak contact and just generate a lot of outs so far. 0-2, fouled away. We'll do it again, 0-2 to Merlot. There's a fastball hit sharply out to shortstop. Bovey picks up the one hop, throws over to Michael Paxton, and that's going to retire the side. So 6 up, 6 down for Harone in his collegiate debut. We'll be back with the bottom of the 9th. Scarlet Hawks got to get 7. Welcome back to the bottom of the 9th as we're getting close to wrapping this one up here. We'll see what the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks have in order for us. They're trailing 7. They got a lot of work to do if they want to keep this one going. 7 to tie and 8 to win. To get us started here is the number 9 hole, Matthew Bovey. Bovey so far on the day reached on an air his first AB, so 0 for 0. in the book, and that one's hit down to third base, picked up nicely, and thrown over to first base, and that's going to be out number 1, so that's going to make the job a little bit tougher when you get a quick out like that. For North Central, Gertis is still on the mound. He retired Scarlet Hawks in short order in the 8th. That will bring up Tyler Gutsfeld with Bovey taking a seat. Guts today is 1 for 4, so a little bit below his standard .403 batting average. He does have a home run on the day, though, and he's going to swing through the curveball. A lefty-lefty matchup against Guts. He hit the home run in the first inning off the starter Pritchard, who is also a lefty. So he's not scared of a lefty-lefty matchup, and that's curveball called for strike 2. Guts doesn't like it. 0-2. That one's down in the dirt, so an easy take for Guts. On deck is Michael Paxson. Paxson's chasing his 2nd hit of the day and 6th of the weekend. And that's a fastball just outside, so quite close. And a lot of close ones that haven't been called this game. In a pretty true zone. 2-2 now to Tyler Gutsfeld. And that one's hit over to first base and off the glove of the diving first baseman. Tyler Gutsfeld will reach safely, and that's going to go in the book as an infield single and be his 2nd hit on the day. So never mind what I said. He's back to that 400 mark, going 2 for 5 this afternoon. Put him on first base for Michael Paxson. Michael Paxson, like I said, looking for his 2nd hit of the day. He's so far 1 for 4 with a single and a strikeout. Also a run scored in the 3rd inning. Just in case Guts was thinking about running, you're going to give him a look. But down 7, you can't imagine that they're going to run into any outs here, but you never know. And that ball is hit hard down the line and into the bullpen. Just hooking a little bit too far foul. We saw one from Pax yesterday, a home run about 50 feet over the fence, and that one was also called foul. He's been showing off some power the last couple days, and he ended up finally getting one yesterday at the end of the 2nd game, his 2nd home run of the season. Power number's been down a little bit for Pax, but average has been way up, so you don't mind the trade-off too much. Batting .426 coming into today, and like I said, 1 for 4, so it's dropped a little bit. And Paxton, another hard one down the line into the bullpen, so the North Central bullpen down the left field line is getting peppered with missiles from Michael Paxson right now. He's going to be on their hit list later. 0-2 now to Pax off those 2 long strikes. That one's in the dirt and by the catcher, so Guts will advance easily on the wild pitch. That will take the double play out of order, and that's significant as you're trying to extend this inning as long as possible. On deck is Jack Finch, the freshman. And Pax hits one off the pitcher, and it's recovered by the 2nd baseman, thrown over to first base, and in time. So that's going to go down as a 1-4-3. It hit off of Gertis's calf. Hit squarely out of the box by Pax. That one can't feel good, especially in this cold weather. So that will allow Guts to move up to third base. But now the Scarlet Hawks are down to 2 outs and trailing 7. So a lot of work to do here with not a lot of rope. Jack Finch is tasked at getting it started. Yeah, nice single his last time up, and he's going to have another one here as that falls in front of the center fielder. And another RBI single for Jack Finch. It's 2 in the last 2 at bat. So he's swinging a hot stick at the moment. That will score Tyler Gutsfeld, and it'll be a 12-6 ball game. So a little bit of 2-out life here from the Scarlet Hawks. Got 6 more to go. Jack Finch on first base now. And that brings up Tanner Jenkins, who's been in that designated hitter spot ever since Bentz came out of the game. Ball upstairs. Tanner's very fast. Freddie Swingle's on deck. He's very fast. Jack Finch has a couple stolen bases on the year. So you got guys that can run the bases. Just got to get them on. That's a curveball in there for strike 2. Backdoor from the lefty, Gertis. Been some impressive pitching performances from the North Central side. That one's hit sharply out to right field and brought in for out number 3. So that'll be the end of the game. Scarlet Hawks lose 12-6 against North Central. Excuse me, they fall to 9-13. And the North Central Cardinals improve to 10-13. The starting pitcher for North Central, Pritchard, will get the win, and Nico Carrillo will fall to 0-1 with the loss. So that'll be the first win for Pritchard and the second loss for Carrillo. So a fun non-con game. Ultimately ran away with it in the 3rd and 4th inning, and Illinois Tech takes a loss here on Sunday afternoon. So we'll be back. Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks will be on the road for their next couple of conference games, but we'll be back to bring you some more NAC action here in a couple of weeks, about a week and a half from this point. So this is David Cooper, and see you later, and have a great rest of your Sunday afternoon.